Hi, Stella dear, it's your favorite mother-in-law.
Oh, hi, Madeline. What can I do for you?
Oh, nothing, really. I'm not looking for anything. I just wanted to check in on my daughter-in-law. See how you're doing.
That's really sweet, Madeline. I'm doing well. Brandon and I are hard at work renovating our house. We think we should be done by next summer, but until then, I'm going to pray that we are done tomorrow. Every day.
Is that so? I can't wait to see the new place. I'll have to come for a visit. It's only a quick 2-hour flight away.
We would love to have you over, Madeline. Whenever we finish. Right now, we're definitely not able to host anyone. We don't even have a proper living room. But everything is going according to plan. We have some really beautiful designs in place. And Brandon is excited to get back into carpentry. It's been a while since he could work with his hand after the accident.
Ah, yes, the accident. The one where his hand was accidentally run over by a golf cart. Still don't know how he managed to do that.
Neither do I, but you know, when the boys get together, anything could happen. I'm glad it wasn't worse. Although, it did take a toll on him for a bit. But it's been 6 months.
Honey, it's been nearly a year.
Are you serious? I had no idea that much time had passed with this whole renovation thing. Time just doesn't exist to me anymore, I guess. Both a good and a bad thing. I just can't wait for our house to be done and for us to be able to relax and settle in here. If his accident was almost a year ago, then we've been in the city for nearly 3 years. That's so crazy.
I know. I was a bit concerned when you announced that you were moving to an entirely different state. I thought I had done something wrong and you both were abandoning me.
Of course not, Madeline. We would never abandon you. We just thought it was time to strike out on our own and make our own path in life. You know, it's so hard to grow and be different people when you live in the same place you always have.
Well, I personally still don't think you need to leave the city for that, but I've made my peace.
That's great. And once we're done with the house renovations, you can come to stay and we'll show you around this new city. I guess it's not really new, is it?
Yes, by then I can meet my grandchild.
What? Brandon and I don't have a child, and I don't think we really have a plan to. At least, not yet.
So you're saying that you don't have a little extra room in the house that can be a nursery? You haven't left any extra bedrooms or anything?
No, we have. By the end of this project, we'll have 3 rooms. But Brandon and I are still ages away from kids. At least with where we're at in life. This renovation did cost us a pretty penny.
Well, I mean, you both have been married for 5 years. You're in your 30s already. I don't mean to be that person, honey, but your biological clock is ticking.
Well, a lot of women have children later in life. Healthy children. I'm sure that whenever Brandon and I decide to start trying for children, we'll still have plenty of time on my so-called biological clock. Besides, wasn't it already proven that was kind of a myth? I mean, I get that women probably shouldn't have babies past a certain age because there's an increased health risk, but there are women in their 50s who give birth.
That's nonsense. I'll be long gone by the time you're in your 50s. You can't hold on to me until then.
That's not what I'm saying, Madeline. I would honestly hate to have a child at 50. But I'm just saying that Brandon and I will have a child in our own time.
Brandon is my only child. The only hope I have in becoming a grandmother is you two. So you best get to work. Making kids is the funnest part.
Okay, like I said before, Brandon and I still aren't at that stage. I mean, come on, we're renovating a house for goodness sake. It would be a really inopportune time to have a child right now.
No problem. I'm sure that I'll have a grandson soon enough. I've already started buying things for him or her. Hey, why not stop at one? Have a couple of little feet pitter-pattering around your new renovated house.
Actually, Brandon and I have spoken about that. We think we only want just one child. That way, we can really focus on loving him or her to our absolute fullest capabilities.
Well, I just can't agree with that. I think you both should think about 2 or more. Consider my feelings on the subject.
You think we should consider your feelings when we're considering children? Me and Brandon, who will be the one raising these hypothetical kids?
Well, obviously I would help. I'm not a monster or anything. I would fly down or, heck, even move down to help you out with the children. I'm the grandmother after all. I love them with reckless abandon.
And I have no doubt that you would. But again, Brandon and I are still a couple of years away from kids, so I would buckle in.
Well, you know what they say about a mother's instinct. I just have a sixth sense about these things. I know you'll be pregnant soon enough, and that will make everyone so much happier.
We're already happy, Madeline, and I don't like the way that you're insinuating that we're not happy right now. Besides, if we weren't happy, why would you want us to bring a kid into the mix? No, Brandon and I are not gearing up to have kids anytime soon. Sorry that you've been wanting to be a grandparent so desperately, but you're going to have to wait. This is on Brandon's and my time, not yours.
Don't you think that's a little inconsiderate? We don't know how much more time I have on this green earth.
You're only 55.
You never know.
Okay, Madeline, I would appreciate if we put a stopper in the conversation now. I think your questions are really invasive, and you're kind of pressuring me to have children. I don't like that. Please, respect my boundaries.
I'm pressuring you to have kids. You should really have them now. In fact, I'll swing by the baby shop today and I'll buy you a nice little bassinet. That should get things going, right?
What? No. That's not going to get anything going. All you're going to do is take up all the room in your house with baby things that aren't even needed at the moment.
Oh, trust me, they're going to be needed. Don't you worry.
For the last time, Brandon and I are nowhere near ready to have kids. And if you keep pushing us, we'll probably end up waiting even longer.
Okay, I gotta go, sweetie. I'll send you the picture once I pick up the bassinet.
Please don't. Madeline, please don't buy us a bassinet.
Hey, sweetie. Is everything all right?
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
No particular reason. You just seemed a little angry yesterday.
Did I?
Honey, you tore down that wall in like 5 minutes flat. I've never seen you swing a sledgehammer like that before.
Maybe I just wanted the wall to come down faster. Have you ever thought about that?
Something tells me that's not it. So, are you going to tell me about it, or am I going to have to guess?
It's nothing, really. I feel a lot better now. Okay, that might be an understatement. I think I might have pulled an arm muscle from the sledgehammer, but besides that, I'm fine. I swear.
Come on, honey, you can talk to me. I'm your husband, after all. Whatever burdens you burdens me.
Maybe so, but I swear, it's fine. We don't need to worry about it. She didn't mean it.
You didn't mean what? Please talk to me, or else I'm going to be worried all day.
Fine. Sorry, I just had a conversation with your mother yesterday.
Oh no. What did she do? What did she say?
Why do you assume it was her that did anything? Maybe I'm the one that did something.
Yeah, I have a really hard time believing that. Knowing my mother, she definitely said something out of line. What did she say?
Well, we kind of had a fight.
You got into a fight with my mother? What about? I hope it wasn't about anything serious.
It kind of was. I'm sorry. We were just talking and catching up with the renovations. But then she kept asking me if we added extra rooms to the house. You know, for a baby.
We technically built the extra rooms for offices, but eventually the child, whenever we have him or her.
And that's what I said to her. But she really didn't like that answer. She's desperate to have a grandchild.
She didn't say anything bad about you, did she?
Not really. She just implied that we were running out of time to have children. I told her how that whole biological clock nonsense was just that, nonsense. But she was convinced that we were running out of time to have children. She was putting pressure on me to start having children and multiple children. She said that we were being really inconsiderate about her and her feelings.
We were being inconsiderate about her feelings when it came to us having a baby? She's not going to be the one raising the thing.
Exactly. And I tried to explain that to her. But then she just went off about how she would help out and all these things, and now she's buying a bassinet.
A what?
It's like a baby thing. She said that she already bought some baby things, but now she's buying us a bassinet.
Why would she do that? That's such a weird thing to do. Did you tell her we're not planning on having a kid until at least a couple more years? I mean, we're not even done with our own house renovation. We don't have a living room.
That's exactly what I said. But she was really insistent. She's convinced that we're pregnant, or about to be pregnant.
We aren't, are we? Because if we are, that's great. But I'm going to feel like a real piece of work for what I just said.
No, we are not pregnant. Do not worry. But your mother is just convinced that we are going to be pregnant soon. And that's why she's buying all these baby things.
That's crazy, right? Like, I'm not being a man or whatever by saying that.
No, definitely not. It is very crazy. Do you think your mother is okay?
Yes, maybe a bit off the rails when it comes to grandchildren. But I'm sure she's fine. Why?
Well, I don't want to concern you, but I've heard about mother-in-laws pushing for grandchildren. But I've never heard of mother-in-laws preemptively buying baby things in order to help things along or whatever. It's actually convinced that we already have a child. That we're just hiding a grandchild from her or something.
Well, I mean, you said it yourself. She's really eager about having a grandchild. Maybe that's taking its toll on her or something.
Yeah, maybe. Or it could just be a general excitement at the thought of having a grandchild. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
I'm sure my mother is fine. Delusional, but fine.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, it's not uncommon for a mother-in-law to be eager about being a grandparent. But you don't think this has anything to do with her losing her husband, your dad, right?
That was years ago. I'm sure it had nothing to do with that.
It was only 7 years ago.
You say that like 7 years isn't a long time.
Yeah, I suppose it is a long time. But grief does weird things to people. When my grandma left her husband, she started collecting clocks and would just watch time go by. I was like, she's got to be upset with it. I mean, I was just a kid when it happened, but it was still weird enough to leave its mark on me, evidently.
It's sweet that you're concerned, but I know my mother. I'm sure she's fine.
Okay, maybe let's not be mad at her for this and continue talking to her.
I'm following your lead, honey.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too, honey.
Hi, Stella dear. What kind of food do you think the baby will like? I'm at a bulk store and they've got this really great deal on large packets of baby food.
What?
What kind of food does the baby like? I was thinking I could send a care package. You know, a little something from Grandma.
Madeline, I don't understand what you're doing.
I just told you, silly, I'm buying food for the baby. I mean, they're already at the food stage, aren't they? I could have sworn they were.
Okay, Madeline, if this is some weird ruse in order to get me to agree to have children before I'm ready, then it's not working. I hate to tell you that.
Okay, maybe I'll just get a couple different packages. It'll be good for the baby to try different foods. You know, make sure they get all the vitamins. It'll be great. Your mailing address is the same, right? I wouldn't want these to go anywhere else. It's the least I can do. I want to be the best grandparent in the world.
And I am so sure that you will be. But you really don't need to do this. I mean, you already bought a bassinet and baby clothes, from what I understand. You don't need to keep buying these things. It will still be a while.
Nonsense! I want to support you and Brandon the best I can.
We don't need your support. This feels really backhanded. You're really trying to force this, aren't you? Well, not anymore. I'm setting a boundary.
Against the grandparents? Ridiculous! You can't do that to me.
It will be a boundary between the two of us. No, actually, it will be a boundary between Brandon, I, and you. You cannot keep up with this whole thing. It's not good for anyone. It only upsets me. I know that you really want to be a good grandparent, and I know that you will be one eventually, but that is not now. This is not how.
Whatever do you mean? This is the only way I know how. I mean, I live in a different city. Unless you want me to come visit.
No, our house isn't ready.
You know, you should really get on that. Do you have anywhere to store this baby food? I know that the living room's out of commission, but your kitchen still works fine, right?
Do not send this baby food. It isn't going to help. We don't need it.
What? That's nonsense. Everyone needs baby food. How else do you think a baby will grow?
By the time we get around to even using it, it'll probably be expired.
No, not these. They last a long time. They're sealed in these little glass bottles. It's better for your baby.
Okay, Madeline, you really need to respect my boundaries, and I put up with you. Please drop this.
I'm only concerned, honey. I don't understand why you're biting my head off for that. I want to be the best grandparent.
And you will be, but just not right now.
What are you doing with the baby?
What?
What are you doing with the baby? Do I need to be concerned?
No, I already explained it to you. Everything will happen at Brandon's and mine time. You can't just force me to be.
Force a baby? I don't know what you're planning, but I don't like the sound of it. Just take the baby food.
No, we're not gonna take it, and I'll just go to base.
You're giving me a lot to be concerned about, I'll have you know. You have me worried sick. And it's my right as a grandparent, so don't try anything.
I thought the whole point of this conversation was that you wanted us to try something.
How dare you put words in my mouth? I would never.
Catherine, are you okay?
I will be soon enough.
Again, Brandon and I are still going away. Nothing you say or do will stop us.
We'll see about that.
Hey, honey. I think it'd be a good idea for one of us to fly down to see your mother.
What? Why is that? Oh no, did you get into another fight with her? What did she say this time?
It's not really about what she said, more about what she did. She's trying to buy bulk packages of baby food to send to us. I think that she's honestly lost it. I'm concerned.
Are you serious? Why would she do that? I mean, she literally knows that we're waiting. You literally told her the last time you spoke.
I know, maybe it's like some weird manifestation thing. She thinks that if she buys us all this baby stuff, it will somehow convince us to have a baby faster. I don't know, she just sounded weird.
You know, maybe it is a good idea. We're due for a visit. Anyway, we can visit her and also check up on her. Would you like that?
Yes, I would. I just don't understand where all of this is coming from. It happened so suddenly. I mean, I always knew that she was really eager to have grandchildren. She even started talking about us having a child not even a year after we began dating.
Well, I think she was lonely then. My father had only passed away a couple of years prior.
Yeah, but what is spurring this on now? I'm honestly worried about her. Maybe you should try talking to her. She might listen better to her son rather than her daughter-in-law.
I wish she would listen to her daughter-in-law. You're much more level-headed than I am. And reasonable, and gorgeous.
You're really laying it on thick. And I know, but she was your mother for way longer than she's been my mother-in-law. I'm sure that she would listen to you.
If you say so, maybe I'll give her a call. Are you almost back from the store?
Yeah, I just stopped for some coffee. I really needed a drink after dealing with your mother this morning. But the lumberyard said that our wood should be ready for the same.
Okay, great. I'll give my mother a quick phone call. Maybe ask her if we can come and stay with her for a bit, just to make sure she's okay.
Yes, please. I'm really worried about her.
I'm sure she's fine. And she's probably just going through, like, a weird patch or something.
I seriously hope so. Let me know what she says.
Will do.
What the hell are you and Brandon getting at? You're concerned about me? I'm concerned about you two and what you're doing.
Catherine? Hi. What are you talking about? Is everything okay? Well, assuming that the phone call didn't go well with Brandon...
Are you trying to make light of this entire situation? It's absolutely insane. I cannot believe you two.
What are you talking about? I'm very confused right now. What do you mean you can't believe us and what we're doing?
Well, first you wanted to take my grandchild and separate them from their grandparent. That in itself should be considered child abuse. And now you're not even feeding them? You don't want to take my food because you said it would be expired by the time you use it. Do you know how much babies eat? How much they need to eat?
Whoa, Catherine, what are you talking about?
I've called CPS on you. You're doing really wrong by my grandkids.
I don't even have a kid.
Huh? Of course you do. Are you trying to gaslight me or something? You and Brandon need to be put in your place. CPS is on its way. I already told Brandon.
You cannot call CPS on us. We do not have children. We literally had a conversation about this like a couple of days ago. You wanted us to have children, but Brandon and I aren't ready. We're waiting. And now I'm seriously concerned about you.
You're worried about me? I'm worried about that kid that you have in there that you're apparently not even taking care of. And you're renovating your house? That's no place to be raising a child. I thought I raised Brandon better.
Okay, Catherine, I'm sure that Brandon is already on it, but we're going to call someone to check on you. I think that there's something seriously wrong with you.
No! I'm the only one here that's sane. You cannot treat a child that way that you've been treating my grandkid.
Catherine, for the last time, we do not have kids. I think you've had some kind of mental breakdown or something.
Who's at my door? Oh, it's the police. They're probably here to take my statement about everything I've learned about you and Brandon as parents.
No, I'm pretty sure your son sent them to do a welfare check on you. Please, open the door.
Happily. At least I know they won't lie to me. You know, it was Brandon's father and I's dream to have grandchildren. Even when Brandon was just a baby. We were so ecstatic at the thought of having grandchildren as well. And you're taking that away from me. How dare you?
Is that what this is about? Catherine, I'm so sorry, but I really think you need to talk to the police.
I am. And just waiting for CPS to get its hands on you.
Okay, Catherine. Brandon and I are going to come and stay with you for a little bit. We can put the house renovations on pause. Catherine? Hello? Okay, Brandon and I are on our way. It turns out that Madeline did have a little bit of a mental breakdown. The psychiatrist assured me that she would be just fine and that it was due to the stress of her life in the city. When we found out, Brandon and I decided to have her stay with us. At least we have the rooms done. We might not have a living room or a basement and only one bathroom, but we thought it was the best if she stayed with us for a while. Madeline is doing a lot better, and we're happy to have her around. However, despite everything, she's still very insistent that we start having our children right away. We've learned to just go with it. Eventually, we will have kids, but it will be in our time. In the meantime, Madeline can wait with us.